Can we give it up to my little sis, Medina?
Some people are very convincing, and some people know how to talk. So there have been multiple times when I've met up with people, I'm like, oh, it's iCloud locked. I was like, do you know the password? Can you unlock it? He was like, well, mostly guys have done this.
I tried to sell you an iCloud locked phone, and it's happened to me once. I said, hey, bro, this is iCloud locked. I'm not going to buy this one. It's useless. And then he's like, oh, the screen alone is like $350. What am I going to do with the screen? Will it catch on, though? AI PIN.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me try this. Hey, Mike, do you have an AI PIN?
Anything that you're seeing, everybody else is seeing. Right? So privacy for me, I mean, I mentioned this last time as well. Privacy is a big concern for me.
And, there were rumors about Thread being the name. Today, we got the news that Thread is officially coming out and is going to be the official competitor to Twitter. Is Twitter dead? Is this the nail in the coffin here? Is it over for them? Or does Elon Musk have something up his sleeve? What is up, people of the internet? Welcome to another edition of the Flipaforum podcast. My name is Michael.
I'm Omar.
I'm Samir.
And we are your hosts. And today we got a very special guest in the building.
Can we give it up to my little sis, Medina?
Hello.
Yeah, I got to give it up to her. This is very nerve-wracking. I got to say, especially doing the podcast for the first time. How was it for you guys? The first time you ever went on camera? It's like the craziest thing in the world. How did you guys feel?
I think I was too focused on myself, what I look like, what I sound like. I think it just over time will get better. So just relax and enjoy the conversation.
Well, I had the mic in my face, so I don't know what was going on.
True. I always feel like I'm over-exaggerating things for the first time when I first start a podcast. I'm just like, hey, everybody, welcome to the Flipaforum podcast,
Yeah, this is really weird.
Yeah. But we have a lot of things to discuss today, and we got Medina. She's an expert in some of these topics, so get ready to hear what she has to say. Right, Medina?
Oh, yeah, get ready.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, we have a lot of things to uncover today. First up, we'll highlight Apple's latest milestone achievements as they hit new market cap. Next up, we'll dive into the increasing rise of fake Apple products on local marketplaces and explore the actions that can be taken to make sure you don't get scammed. Moving on, we have some concerns surrounding the Google Fold that we will have to unfold. Furthermore, Humane now has a name. Updates on the new device they will be releasing later this year. In other news, Twitter's new competitor is official. Thread is here and is coming on Thursday. I cannot wait. And of course, we'll spice some things up with some fun tech trivia. And all right. If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new content. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. All right, Omar, talk to me. Let's talk about the market cap. What is that all about?
I guess for anyone who's not been living under a rock, when we talk about market cap, it's essentially about how companies measure success. And we've been hearing a lot of companies, going at it for the last 15 to 20 years with, obviously the internet becoming a thing, globalization and all. But the most interesting piece of news that has been going through social media, and like I've been reading on it as well through the week, is how Apple's actually hit $3 trillion.
$3 trillion.
Market cap.
Damn.
Ridiculous.
Now that's the first time any company has ever done that. Is that correct?
Yes, and this is actually not the first time that they've done it.
Yes. Oh, let's talk a little bit about that. They could have done it. They could have done it previously, but some things happen on the back end. But it's all good. Let's see.
Yeah. So anyway, Apple's hit $3 trillion for a second time. They're really hoping that on the backs of all of their products and services and experiences that they're offering, they're going to hold on to it this time around. But let's dial back to January of this year when Apple actually hit $3 trillion valuation for the first time.
Yeah.
And understand how they got there, what went wrong, and how quickly they went back to not being at that valuation. So, Samir, you want to kick us off on that?
All right. So what's going on with Apple? as Omar was saying, this is the second time they've reached this 3 trillion mark. This happened back in January. And the reason for this not working out was the supply chain. It was a supply chain problem. You know what happened with COVID, and they were not able to meet the demand. And so they had issues in manufacturing. And yeah, so that was kind of, I think, the biggest reason why they were not able to continue the rise. But like Umar was saying, they bounced back, and they're again at the top. And I think the reason for this again is I believe that AI is playing a big role in their valuation. They've gone in 100% on AI. They're also going to be doing something what has never been done before, is what you call an AI app store. So they're going to have apps that are just developed for AI only. It's like a marketplace. So again, this is a very smart move on their end. Another thing is what's driving it is they have installed base of about 2 billion users. So this install base again gives them the flexibility. It also gives them the ability to be able to take on this market and to be able to be a leader as they have been all along. Another thing that's coming is the Apple Car, which is in 2026. That's another thing that's coming down the pipe.
Is that confirmed?
Almost confirmed. Yeah, it's almost confirmed.
Well, that would be a crazy thing to get into. You know, I've never seen a phone company jump into the electric vehicle game. You know, and I'm gonna let you finish, but before you continue, I just want to explain that Apple has solidified itself in such an extraordinary way to the point where their ecosystem is on point. You just mentioned the loyalty of their 2 billion customers.
Exactly.
They have stayed with them since the beginning, 2006, and year after year, they have proven themselves time and time again. I'm very excited to see where Apple is going to take it, especially with the Apple Vision Pro coming out. Now, mind you, it's not about making money with Apple Vision Pro. We're only releasing about 1 or 2 units per location in the States only. We're not even going to see it in Canada.
Correct.
So that's clearly not the way that's clearly not their motive in terms of profits, but they're definitely going to blow up, and they're going to hit 4 trillion in no time. I feel like they hit 1 trillion like yesterday. Well, weren't they the first company to hit 1 trillion?
They were the first company to hit a trillion.
4 years ago.
Yeah, and
they've really hammered down on the experience. It's not just the fact that they have great hardware; they back it up with really good software. They've given developers the option to work in that workspace to provide a better experience to the consumers. And then, to Sameer's point with AI, like it's going to be ahead of the curve every single time, which allows folks like you and me to say, "Hey, I've got the latest iPhone paired with an iPad, a watch, my buds, and then so on and so forth."
Most people don't understand that Apple is not only in the hardware business.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys name another industry that Apple is currently in, Medina? So they're currently selling iPhones like crazy, MacBooks like crazy, but they're also selling a type of service, an insurance. Can you name it?
Apple is.
Apple is.
I like to think it's
Apple Care.
Okay.
Apple Care, you got it. You
That's
know
for
this
their
stuff.
product.
They are killing it with
Apple
Apple Care.
True.
Yeah.
People appreciate Apple's warranty so much, and their customer service is just impeccable. I know one of the biggest fans of Apple Care is right here. I haven't met anybody that loves Apple Care and appreciates Apple Care more than Omar over here. Every single day he contacts me, "Hey, do we have another 14 Pro or a 14 Pro Max? Must have Apple Care."
Is it eligible for Apple Care?
He calls me, and I just answer the phone without listening to what he has to say, and I'm like, "Nope, no silver and no Apple Care, unfortunately." That literally happened last week. He just started laughing. But
just want to mention a couple of other things. They also have what you call a 25% upgrade base. What that means is that 25% of the people that own Apple devices still need to upgrade in the last 4 years. So I mean that's quite a lot. I mean 25% of 2 billion.
Yeah.
So that's a big market. That's a big opportunity right there. And as far as supply chain, that has been resolved by Tim Cook, and he did that by investing so much money into India.
Yeah.
And as we talked about last week, we spoke about Modi, Prime Minister Modi, who came to the U.S. And I think Tim Cook also did meet him. And I think the way things are going is that there's going to be a lot of development going on in India, the investment. as far as foreign investment is concerned, a lot of investment into AI is going to be coming into India because India has the brain power.
Absolutely.
So yeah, basically keeping all these things in mind, I think the 4 trillion mark, I think is not hard to hit. And yeah, I mean, if the Apple Car is supposed to come out, I think that'll be very exciting. I mean, it's just going to add to their wide range of products and services that they offer.
Yeah. I can just imagine, how the Apple Car can be paired with the Apple Vision Pro. Just imagine putting the Apple Vision Pro headset on and then just seeing everything in AR reality. I can see that being a very good fit for Apple, and it's very exciting to see where this company will go. Medina, why do you think Apple is such a premium company? I mean, all of their product just looks so clean. And I mean, you have Apple. Are you an Apple user?
I only use Apple.
You only use Apple. So you have a MacBook and you have an iPhone.
And I watch.
And an Apple Watch, of course. But why? Why do you like Apple? Why don't you use Samsung?
For me personally, I think Samsungs are great phones for other people.
Yeah.
For me, I care about speed, especially with the MacBooks.
Yeah.
I've owned Microsoft computers and they suck.
No viruses, right?
They last like a month
problem.
before they start
yeah.
slowing down. Even if you reset it, it stays slow.
Yeah.
Apple, I've had computers for over 5 years and they're still like brand new. They
Absolutely.
work the same way.
And the best part about Apple, is, as we always talk about, is their ecosystem. They've just mastered the ecosystem,
It's so comfortable
how
to
things
use.
operate with one another, the AirPlay functionality, the AirDrop functionality, and how they continuously make things better and better over time. They're just showing so much value that obviously you're going to have loyal customers over time. Alongside a great customer service team, you can't ask for more.
And then I'll just add to that. You have to factor in how they think. They think strategically. You have 4-year-old iPhones, 5-year-old iPhones that will probably still hit iOS 17.
Yep.
And the reason is not to support older iPhones. The whole concept is as these phones get it down, make their way down and eventually hit laggards and folks that haven't really considered Apple or were unable to get an iPhone earlier will experience what it is like to have an iPhone, experience like the latest software on that iPhone, and eventually, put together enough money to get maybe a newer model and get into the ecosystem. The whole idea of rolling software for the longest, if you compare it to all of their competitors, is to have a dominant space in the market where they can say, hey, you may not have used our latest iPhone yet. That's okay. You can still get an iPhone 10. You can still have iOS 17 on it. And that's going to convince you to make that jump in a couple of years. If it takes a couple of years, so be it. So the 25% that you say is 25% today might be higher.
Well, I think another thing that's going on with Apple is their service space. I mean, they have, like everyone's got some sort of service they're using from Apple on their phones, either using more disk space or...
True. Their iCloud storage alone probably killing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are already hooked into the ecosystem. May not be very directly, but they have something Apple,
Absolutely.
and which is very powerful. So I mean, like you were saying, as far as getting more people on board, I think it's not going to be that difficult for them. And I mean, it just all points to a very, very successful and fast growth. I mean, that's what I see for them, a very, very fast growth. And also, they also have a new app, which I think they've come out with recently, is the Health app, which basically the
revamped version.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they made
yeah.
it better.
Yeah, so it can tell you what your emotional state is, basically. So if
That's
you-
crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Can you give us an example? What can it do? Can it tell you,
yeah.
oh,
Are
you're happy right now.
Exactly.
You're depressed.
Yeah, it tells
Listen
you
to
you're depressed.
No
here's
way.
some happy music. You're depressed.
I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and also,
Here, use the journaling app. We'll make you feel better.
well, what they've done is they've kind of like taken the whole AI thing and they have incorporated into these apps, which is example of machine learning, and that's what AI is, machine learning. So it kind of builds on
Yeah.
itself.
Also, Samir, what they will eventually do with all of this learning is that, for instance, let's say my iPhone or my watch can tell me that I'm feeling sad or depressed or what have you. On a more serious note, it might send me a recommendation. Hey, here's
Yeah,
like places that you
exactly.
can go visit. Like here, you can de-stress here or go to a park. Or let's say I have a headache or I have high blood pressure. Send me to a doctor. what have you, and that is those are the implications of how people get like hooked into the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's proactive. It's it kind of gives you suggestions.
Yep,
gives
very
you advice.
user focused.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
even when I'm leaving my house, my phone detects like at this time if she's leaving the house, she has to go to work.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's literally telling you, okay, 8 minutes until you get to work.
Yeah, so that's under what functionality? What app to use for that? Man,
It just like learns your
shortcuts.
habits.
Shortcuts.
Oh,
Shortcuts.
yeah.
You can set up shortcuts. Yeah, there's so much automation involved that people don't know too much about. We should actually cover a pretty detailed podcast just on shortcuts. You know, the efficiency, how you can make your life so much easier and straight to the point without thinking too much. You know, the less decisions you make, the better your life is. I'd like to give our viewers a visual on the actual market cap. I want to see how much they've grown since 2006. I believe 2006 was their first iPhone.
2007 they came out with the
Yeah. So let's scroll down for a minute over here, all the way to the bottom. So let's start off at 2007. Obviously, I don't know what's going on here in 2002. I guess they were going through
computers and
all that stuff there. Okay, so let's just look at their big jump over here from 2006 to 2007. That's almost what? That's a double and a half in my opinion. Incredible growth right there, and then they drop down to 75 billion. But you just look at this company and how they've consistently been growing year after year. Since 2015, they've been increasing significantly. Like I see a 40% increase over there in 2017. Can we get to 2017? Yeah. Oh, wow. 2019, 72%. That's incredible. That's when they hit trillion, and they hit it hard. And obviously they were the first company to hit 1 trillion, which is an incredible feat if you ask me. And then year after year, they've just been killing it. Now I know for this year, they will be in the negatives. They won't be making money, so they're not going to be growing as a company. But that's just how the market is right now. But if you ask me, they're still doing an incredible job in being a profitable company and still being a dominant player in the game.
Why do you say that they're going to be in the negative?
Well, based on the numbers that came out, it looks like they're going to be hitting in the negative. Why? I think there's numerous reasons for that. Omar, do you know any reasons why they're going to be in the negative?
Primarily, you know, like all companies, Apple included, have been plagued by supply chain issues, chip shortages, and what have you. And because of that, there's scarcity. And when there's scarcity, it's a domino effect. It impacted the latest models, which would then mean that the previous models would retain their value longer.
Yes.
So obviously, these are external factors, macro factors that are outside of their control. However, there's a very good chance that once they launch, obviously, their new software with a new product that is rolling out, they will recover very quickly. So it'll be like a small dip, but more gains at a later time.
Like you work in the front end all the time, and have you noticed that this year's iPhone 14s and even the iPhone 13s have held their value for a longer period of time? Yeah. They're still selling for almost retail in terms of resale value. And, you know, we haven't seen that, I don't think, ever. Yep. And the reason for that is supply and demand. You know, there is so much demand, but not enough supply, which holds the price higher.
But I also understand that the iPhone 12 and the 13 were one of the best sellers. It did extremely well. It was very well received. I don't want to talk about the mini. I think that was just terrible. That was a disaster.
Yeah, but they also had a lot of supply, right?
Yeah, they did.
Compared to this year and last year. Yep. So, the shortages kind of like, you know, ruined everything.
Yeah, normally whenever a new iPhone will come out, it's going to take 30 to 45 days before they're readily available in the store. This year, I remember in early February, I'm still seeing, okay, there's going to be 4 weeks before it's delivered to your home. And I'm like, why? It's February. Exactly. So obviously you got to go back and understand that the biggest driver would be the chip shortage amongst other variables that led to people normally want something that's not available to them.
Yeah. And if you look at other companies, I wouldn't say they've performed the same way. Yep. You know, Apple is a very unique company, and they just seem to always hold their value regardless of what the market is like. But this time around is just to another degree. Wow. All right, so we clearly see Apple as number one here, but a very close number two, Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has surprised me year after year. I don't know how they keep it up, but me and Samir were just talking about it today. I'm like, how do they make their money? You know, it's definitely not hardware. You know, yes, they make a lot of money off hardware, but Where else is their capital coming from? Omar?
Software. A lot of it is based on software.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the developed world, a lot of us are completely, like baked into the Apple ecosystem. But Microsoft is not just limited to, yes, we talked about hardware. There's layers of software. There's obviously enterprise, then there's security, then there's, you talk about not just corporate level, but you talk about like at a national level. And then you talk about at a multinational level, how Microsoft is supporting different countries, I would say. I want to say countries without getting too political. And their database, their mainframes, their drives, backups to those drives. We actually probably should do a complete separate podcast on Microsoft. But when you start looking at what Microsoft has got their hands in, you'll understand that a lot of people only remember it for the failure of Microsoft and Lumia and that whole partnership with Nokia. But what people don't realize is they have done right what BlackBerry did wrong, and they've gone into many different subsets of software.
Yeah.
Securities included,
Absolutely.
enterprise included, which has allowed them to diversify their portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to mention something. It's just the install base, and as far as corporate concerned, I mean, corporations are concerned. I mean, they have mastered the game.
Yep.
I think when I was working in IT about 10 years ago, there was a lot of there was a lot of changes going on at a very high level.
Yeah.
As far as the IT was concerned. A lot of Microsoft software, like you said, a lot of Microsoft servers. They also had something, they were competing with a product called Lotus, which was owned by IBM. So this also was another big market that was a corporate product that was designed to basically, help people within the company communicate, exchange ideas, have updates, whatever. So they had the server end. They also had the communication aspect of it within the company. So everyone is using Microsoft Exchange for email, which was huge.
Now we have Teams, which is equivalent to Zoom.
Yeah.
The other thing also, Samir, is they've got a CRM platform that is not just facilitating you and me, but as I said, companies and countries are on that level playing field where Microsoft doesn't represent itself as Microsoft only. It's like a provider to other companies as well for their CRM solutions. So I think it is, I was surprised, to be honest, to see them at that valuation, but it's really good to see that they are there. They're just not there in the mobile space where a lot of people really drive attention from.
They're still an international company, like you said.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, what is this Saudi company here?
Okay, so this one, Michael, is based out of, it's a very famous company. It's owned by Saudi Arabia, and it's an oil company. Basically, they are the ones that control the oil prices, and they have a very, very, very big impact on the market.
Interesting. Can we go back for a second?
Yeah, so are these all the companies, these are all different types of
industries? Yeah.
So
so Apple's at the top of
Apple is the number one, Microsoft is number two, Saudi number three. Then we got Alphabet here, which is formerly known as Google. We got Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, and so on. I also see Meta platforms on there, which is with the likes of Instagram, Facebook. A lot of news on them lately. So clearly, all of these companies here are tech companies. I see some logistics here, and I see some oil companies, but clearly, tech is the way to go if you want to be very profitable and you really want to hit large numbers. You guys have anything else to say on this topic, or should we keep it moving?
I'm really surprised to see them competing with oil companies.
Yeah.
I thought this was only tech. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything.
Yeah. No, this is great.
It's good. Informative.
All right, guys, I wanted to briefly, provide some value to our viewers. And, this is a topic that is a great concern to me personally. I find it alarming that there's so much counterfeit product that is being sold on Facebook marketplaces, Kijiji marketplaces, and so on. And you just see all of these people coming into our office once a week, once a month, whatever it is, and they're just saying, I just got scammed.
Yep.
I just purchased an iPhone 14 Pro Max for $1,000 or $1,200, whatever the number is, just to find out that it's fake. It's Android. And I don't know if you've ever been scammed. It's a very shitty feeling.
Yeah.
Horrible feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people do it, and it's unfortunate, but I wanted to provide some value to the viewers by explaining what you should be looking out for, making sure that if you're going to purchase it from somebody, how to inspect it properly, and making sure you're going to be safe at the end of the day, because
Absolutely.
that's the number one concern here. Firstly, I actually have, believe it or not, some fake Apple product here, and I'd like to uncover some of them for you. I have 2 iPhone 13 Pro Maxes over here. I have some AirPods, and I also have an Apple Watch Ultra. One of which I own all of these, obviously, in authentic form. And you might ask, why do I have these? These are actually purchased from clients that have come into our store, being scammed. They didn't know what to do with it. So I thought I would purchase it for training purposes, because I want to make sure my team understands what a fake phone is and what a real phone is. And it's very important to understand that not all Apple product gets faked. You're not going to see fake MacBooks. You're not going to see fake iPads. Not that I've seen yet, but the most common models are going to be the flagship models. Something that is cheap to make, which is also very expensive. For example, the iPhone 14 Pro Max or the iPhone 13 Pro Max, you're going to see the newest phones year by year being fake. So if you went on Facebook Marketplace right now and you typed in iPhone 14 Pro Max, I guarantee you 90% of them are probably going to be fake.
Yeah,
Medina,
actually-
can you attest to that?
Actually,
Yes.
if you don't mind putting it up, I was looking at it yesterday. You'll probably see it like in the low hundreds as well for iPhones. Sorry, Medina.
No worries. So when I'm evaluating the prices for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, 14 Pro, the more expensive models, the way I evaluate them is completely different than how I evaluate an iPhone X or like an iPhone 11, something that they don't really make fakes of anymore. It's just because 90% of the market is fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. And you're going to see that for specific items only.
Yeah.
Can we go on to Facebook, a Facebook profile on the marketplace? Can we just see what's going on there?
Okay, so let me quickly just talk about why do fakes exist. In our world, obviously, we're talking about all of these scams, but there is a portion of the world where fakes are developed for you to have that status symbol of having an iPhone. People actually go in to buy a fake knowing that it's a fake just to carry it around so that someone like Mike, who didn't know, I know you know how to spot a fake, but someone who wouldn't know would say, okay, he's got the latest 14 Pro Max. And that is why those phones are made. That's one of the bigger reasons why. As we go down the food chain, obviously, scammers have figured out a way to make money on the other side of the spectrum where they bring it to consumers that are not aware or may not upgrade their phone every year or every other year, so they're not aware of what to look for.
What's your email address?
And that's how they get scammed into buying iPhones that are not real.
Okay, guys, we actually have it up here on the screen. So we searched up iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is the number one fake phone right now. You're actually not going to find fake iPhone 14 Pros. You're not going to find fake iPhone 14s either, the basic models. They're always going to be the 14 Pro Maxes, and they're usually going to be the 512 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, the larger models. And, upon searching up the 14 Pro Max, we're looking at the screen over here, and we see a lot of ads on right now. And I see one for $1,000, one for $950, for $1,000, $1,100. Mind you, these ones should be selling for around $1,300 to $1,400 for the 128 gigabyte. And believe it or not, I see people here with receipts. Now, I want people to understand that, yes, the iPhone can come with a receipt. And yes, the iPhone can have a real serial number on it, but it does not mean that it's going to be a real device. You can search up the serial number on the Apple website and it will pop up, and people that don't really know what they're doing and haven't done their own due diligence are probably going to believe that it's a real device. But, I can simply say this iPhone that I have in my hand right here, this is a 13 Pro Max. Who's to say I can't look at another 13 Pro Max and just copy that number and put it on here? It's the exact same number, yes, but it's a fake. And that's where you firstly should start is make sure you inspect the packaging, because the packaging looks good at first, but when you actually really deeply look into the details, you start to notice that the font is a little bit off, the texture of the box is a little bit off, the coloring is a little bit off, and you have to make sure you inspect that first. And most iPhones don't come activated. So the serial numbers that they're using are usually activated devices. Now, an iPhone cannot be activated if it is sealed. If it's a brand new model, it must say, please activate device to see the warranty. All of the fake models have activated warranties. That's the first sign. And secondly, all the fake models are usually made in China or in America, meaning the model numbers are from there. You're rarely going to see Canadian model numbers. Now, I see them here and there, but most of the models are either, I see over here, it's B/A. I don't know what that is. Is that China?
Could be.
Regardless, it's a very common issue. And what I would suggest, for people looking to purchase a brand new device is do your own research. Make sure you compare the boxes, number one. Also, when you're looking at these Facebook profiles, I mean, can we go back to another profile? Look, we see in the corner, Kevin Gaines. Actually, go to the same guy. He has a receipt. Kevin Gaines joined Facebook in 2023. All of these fake accounts are less than a year old, probably less than a month old, if you ask me. Most of them probably get blocked after. And look, another one joined Facebook in 2023.
Nicole Smith.
Yeah. Now, if you're gonna buy a brand new device such as this, make sure you either go to the actual Apple Store or buy it from a company, a reseller who has a good reputation. Do your own research. Make sure you don't make that mistake like countless others have done in the past. And don't get scammed. There's ways to avoid this stuff,
Let me add something as a consumer here.
I also wanted to kind of add something.
Sure, please, go ahead.
Michael was saying when you search the serial number on the website, it should be unactivated. I heard a thing that they do is they buy an authentic phone. Yep. They keep it sealed. Yep. They use that number on hundreds of fake phones. Yeah. And they just keep it unactivated.
That's a very good point.
Unactivated.
I did notice that after.
Don't rely on that. Only if you decide to buy.
Yeah, that's a very good
brand
point.
New phone, but
Medina, what's the number one way we actually authenticate a product? So obviously you can tell by the packaging, but there's a website online that we use. It's a license-based software. It's called SIGW. How do you confirm something is real or fake?
Packaging is a huge
factor
giveaway.
Here,
yeah, just based on a box. I deal with phones every day though, so to somebody that doesn't work with phones and touches these phones every day, you might not notice, but when you look at it long enough, I think you'll realize. Yeah. Using a software that will help, you can authenticate where it was purchased from. Mm-hmm.
So for us, we want to ensure that it's actually a Canadian device. So if you're purchasing a device in Canada, we want to make sure it's purchased from either Rogers, TELUS, or a Canadian Apple store. Now, this software will actually tell you where it's purchased from. So that's the best way to actually authenticate something. We've had phones come in here, which were fake, and we would search up where are these purchased from, and 99% of the time they're from China. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the type of society we live in today. It's easy money. These things you can buy on, I believe it's Alibaba for $50. Yeah. They're fairly cheap. They run on Android operating systems, very cheap stuff. You have one open up right now.
I actually wanted to do a comparison, but as a consumer, what I want to add is, obviously we're in this space every day. We understand this is what a real one looks like. This is what a fake one looks like. But I work with a telecommunications company, and I can tell you that there's a lot of customers out there. They might be tech savvy, but they still can't spot the difference between what a real box looks like and what a fake box looks like, and they won't have the time to do their due diligence. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about what are the best things you can do. First and foremost, as you already mentioned, what I have personally started doing for the last couple of years, mind you, I never got scammed, I still started doing this, is I started going to a reputable phone company or a phone store, like Flipafone.com is actually one of them. You guys should definitely check it out. I end up paying maybe a little bit more, 10 to 20% more than I would have paid off of like one of these ads. But I have that peace of mind that when I leave the store, I go home, I use the device, or I give it to a friend or a family member or a loved one, I won't have to worry about it got blacklisted or it's a fake phone or going through the embarrassment of, hey, you gave me a fake phone, right?
Yeah.
So for many consumers out there, I just want to point out how to spot a fake. Easiest way to spot a fake, I've got a real phone here. The black one is the 14 Pro Max in black, and I've got like the fake 13 Pro Max, just for reference.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Sure. So if you the first thing you got to do is you got to look at the camera lens, and what you'll spot right away is within the camera lens, they've got like it looks like a 2 megapixel camera. There's like a blue lens or there's a blue shell inside the camera lens that will be a dead giveaway that that's a fake phone. Let's say you missed that. There's another easy giveaway. We all have smartphones. Smartphones have a torchlight. If you simply turn on your torchlight and you hover it on a dead phone even, you will see that this phone, Samir, has like a pretty big chin.
Yeah, the bezel at the bottom is
The
usually a lot
on
thicker.
the iPhone that is not real will always be larger.
Yeah.
And the bottom bezel is the dead giveaway. It will always be bigger than the real thing.
Yeah, you know what's another important point. Sorry to cut you off, but when you actually turn this phone on, if it has battery, it's already activated, so it's in the home screen. It's automatically pointed to the home screen, and you don't have to go through the hello screen setup process, which is an automatic giveaway. You know, and also what I would recommend people is open up the phone. Test it out. Try to log into the iCloud before you hand over the money. Make sure it's an authentic product, and that way you won't get scammed. You know.
And there's a very good chance you won't be able to log into the Apple Store.
No, you
because
won't
there
be
isn't
able
one.
to.
There's a Play Store on it.
Exactly.
It's all a skin. So again, the best thing to do is spend a little bit more money, come to a store, get that peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Again, I mean, flipafone.com is the place to go. We've been coming here for 3 years.
Yeah.
But if you are in a situation where you're in a pinch, you might not be in Canada, you're somewhere else in the world, and you're trying to buy a phone, please look at the hardware, test it out, take 15 minutes. If the seller is pushy, or he or she is pushy, or they're trying to push the sale, might as well walk away from it. Not worth losing your money.
Absolutely. And if you guys ever have any questions, we'd be more than happy to help. I'm actually thinking about creating a step-by-step video on how to inspect an authentic iPhone before purchasing. I think that'll provide a lot of value for our viewers, so I can't wait to make that. Samir, do you have any experience with fake iPhones in your days?
No. I have never had the experience of having to buy one. I think back in the iPhone 6 days, when I was just getting into it, I don't believe they did have any fake iPhones.
Oh, they did. They did.
Oh, okay.
It was. I think it was a thing for the longest time. I mean, iPhone 4s. There were fake iPhone 4s. You know.
It's not just, sorry if I'm cutting you, but it's not just about fake iPhones. It's also about real iPhones that I can buy from someone off the street, and a week later they get blacklisted because you will stop paying your bill, or you'll default it, or you will get one of those extended warranties where you tell your carrier that I lost it, they give you a replacement, and they blacklist
for
the
sure.
phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of scams out there. You know, another one is iCloud lock. You know, a lot of people sell you a locked device that they found on the street, and people don't inspect that stuff, and they just automatically trust someone. People are great actors out there. You know, they're very believable, and it's unfortunate. Medina, you've done quite a bit of purchasing in your time. What kind of experiences have you had?
And have you ever been scammed?
So when it comes to iCloud, there are multiple people that I used to buy and sell phones by myself. I didn't work at a store. I would find phones and meet up with people. And there have been multiple people that some people are very convincing, and some people know how to talk. So there have been multiple times when I've met up with people, I'm like, oh, it's iCloud locked. I was like, do you know the password? Can you unlock it? He was like, well, mostly guys have done this.
It's always the men.
They'd be like, oh, yeah. There's like a website you can go on, pay like $10, and they'll unlock the iCloud. By this time, I knew you can't remove iCloud. If you don't know the password, unless you're the owner and you go to Apple, it's very hard to unlock. If you're not the owner, they won't unlock it for you. iCloud locked. If you buy an iCloud locked phone, it's useless.
True.
And people are just very manipulative, and they would keep talking and convince you.
You know, the worst kind of, the seller that I hate the most is that they will try to sell you an iCloud locked phone, and it's happened to me once. I said, hey, bro, this is iCloud locked. I'm not going to buy this one. It's useless. And then he's like, oh, the screen alone is like $350. What am I going to do with the screen?
Yeah.
I don't have a store. I'm not a technician. What do you want me to do? It's the worst. So anyway.
I always have this. I've always had this aspiration to create another YouTube channel that confronts these scammers. Like, I actually want to message these people on Facebook, meet up with them, catch them on camera, and completely annihilate them. This embarrass them, call them out. Obviously, there's a lot of safety concerns here, security issues, but I think it would be great. It would be of great value to the people. You know, the more you do this, the less people you're going to see doing this type of stuff online. Now, I have a question. Can Facebook do anything about this? I mean, I know they've implemented some. Implemented some measures with regards to Marketplace. You have to have a profile for at least 3 months before Marketplace shows up on the account. My question is that enough time? Can they do anything else to prevent these scammers?
Of course they can. I think there's a way where you can only authenticate a certain number of accounts using like a phone number. Let's say your main account is 647123456. That phone number can only be associated to 2 other accounts or 1 other account, let's say, for that matter. So that could be one way. Another way would be your IP activity. You know, like obviously people are not like running around from cafe to cafe and running these scams. Obviously, most of them are like doing this at home. So track down your IP. Like how many different accounts are you logging in from? What is that activity like? Obviously, there's measures in place, and you know there's different simulations in place that Facebook can put in to say, hey, people here are just using these accounts to post ads, and then obviously then they can also there's Facebook and Kijiji now also have a rating system where you know you can rate a seller based on your experience. If someone has been on the platform for, I would say, 5 to 7 years and they have like more than 50 reviews that are positive reviews, that's like the first step. I think they can take it a layer further and allow you to really have maybe like a video chat option where you can inspect, look at the device, understand what it is, match it for what it is, and then go meet somebody. So yeah, they can absolutely do it. It's really about like thinking about how to do it and how it will benefit people.
I think a simple method here is if it's less than a year old, just don't purchase it. Make sure the account has some sort of history. And lastly, if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. That is the truth. All right, guys, can we keep it moving to the next subject here?
I just want to mention one more thing, and that's called fear of missing out.
Yeah.
That's big.
Oh yes, that is an incredible point. Actually, if you see a phone that's $800 and it's supposed to be worth like $1,400, and you look at the profile, like, oh, they seem convincing. Oh, they seem nice, and then you meet them in person, and they're also convincing. They're also nice.
Yeah.
Man, that is the worst feeling.
That's one of the biggest traps people fall into. Is like
such a shitty feeling.
Everybody thinks that they're just so honest. Like if they're honest, they feel everyone's honest.
Yep.
But really, that's not the case. So you really have to kind of step back and just like Michael was saying and Omar was saying, we really have to look at the profile itself. Yep. Look at the age of the profile.
We've talked about like the negative aspects of buying off of Marketplace. I just want to like reiterate back to buying from a store. I'll give you an example. This just happened today. I picked up a 14 Pro in silver from you with the promise that I would be able to get Apple Care on it. Obviously, that date had passed. Yeah. As a seller, it's not your concern anymore that I bought a device that was used from you and now I cannot add Apple Care to it. Yes? Yeah. Here I am back at the store for the camera. I just got a brand new Seal phone from Mike with the promise that, hey, you got a phone from us. It did not meet your expectations. No problem. Here's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as your reason is valid, like you know that you have that support, and that's why I would highly recommend everyone to check out an authentic store like this one.
I agree. And last thing I wanted to mention is these are the most important things to look out for when you're actually purchasing any Apple device. There are certain devices that get faked, and only these devices. iPhone 14 Pro Max, AirPods, either the regular AirPods or the AirPods Pro. Look out for them. They're all fake. Apple Watch Ultra specifically. There's so many fakes out there in the market. I actually have one over here. And lastly, the AirPods Max. I don't see the AirPods Max as much, but there's a lot of fakes out there for the AirPods Max. Another thing to understand is these Apple Watch boxes, you can actually open them, believe it or not. They look like they're sealed, but you can open them. And a lot of people like to swap out a real one with a fake one, and whatnot. Just ensure everything is legitimate. Open everything up, inspect it all. You'll be able to tell fairly quickly if something is authentic or not. If you're an avid Apple user, you'll just quickly be able to tell that this is not Apple. This is some bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah. All right, guys, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
We have some exciting news or not so exciting news to unfold about the Google Fold. Omar, what is going on with Google Fold? I don't get it.
You're going to get me started on this. Okay. Let's talk about North America. I know that, there's been a lot of talk about Samsung being the leader in the foldable space.
Yeah.
But there's been competitors. There's Oppo, there's Xiaomi, there's like a bunch of others out there, but none of them are officially sold here in North America until the Google Fold, which is now the main competitor to the Fold with Samsung. Now, here's my problem. It's not just the price. $1,800 for that phone is way higher than its competitor that's been in the market for 4 to 5 years already. They have refined the product for 5 generations or 4 generations now.
Yep.
And they've made it better. Here comes Google thinking that they'll come out with a new design. Sure, okay, they're going a different route. But if you unfold that phone, it is a horrible looking device. Like,
Have you seen it in hand?
it is. I have. It is a horrible looking device. It's
Okay.
like
It's just not practical, in my opinion.
the bezel is it's a chunky bezel.
Yeah.
The software is not like up to speed. Like, obviously it misses out. Like the layout will not change, the orientation will not change as and when you want it to. And when you think about price, that's just one of the factors that goes into buying a device. If you buy a device that has so many glitches and errors and like functionality issues, it's a poor experience. And for you to come out 4 years later to the party with that many issues, whether you're like a first generation product, mind you, always has issues.
Yeah.
But you had 4 years to really refine something and bring out the best version of what you could have, right? And yet we have the Fold with all of these issues. I'm almost guarantee that in a year's time, it will not retain its value. It's very much like, what was that device called? The Surface Duo?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. It reminds me of the Surface Duo. The shape is almost identical.
Yeah.
And I agree. The Surface Duo was a complete disaster.
Yeah.
It did not perform to people's expectations. And, I think you should just stick to the companies that have proven themselves time and time again, such as Samsung, or try something new out, such as the Oppo Folds,
Absolutely.
And I think it's time for other companies to come out and start to thrive in the folding game. Maybe it's not meant for Google. I think Google makes some pretty good cameras on a phone, but other than that, don't try to get into a game that you are not going to thrive in, unfortunately,
And then they're coming into this space. You have competitors like Oppo with the Find N2,
Yes.
which was, by the way, a phenomenal phone.
I agree.
The only problem is you're bringing in a similar form factor with a worse design.
Yeah,
So if your design is worse, then your price needs to be better.
I agree.
But your price is at the very top. So you're almost saying that we don't care about the consumer and this is our product, take it. Because we're the best at camera quality. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works anymore. And this product, is bound to fail.
Yeah.
I actually
You can punch
haven't
me in the face if it
seen
doesn't.
the fold.
Yeah, you know what? I
Yeah.
actually tried to search it up on the Google website. Are we even able to buy it in Canada?
So I don't think we are. My friend has it.
Yeah.
I was able to play around with it for probably less than an hour.
Yeah.
Frustrating, the most frustrating 45 minutes that I was on that phone.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm like, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch this. And I was trying to watch my own podcast on it.
Yeah.
And it crashed like twice.
Yeah.
So no, absolutely not.
Fair enough. Okay, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's talk a little bit about Thread. Now, we talked a little bit about Thread last week, and
Yes, we did.
it was just rumors just a week ago. It was called Project 92. And, there were rumors about Thread being the name. Today, we got the news that Thread is officially coming out and is going to be the official competitor to Twitter. And we should be expecting it on July 6th, which is this Thursday. I'm not too sure when this podcast is going to be released, but it's going to be on July 6th. And, I find it to be very good timing for Meta to make this move when Twitter is in such a vulnerable state. Twitter is clearly going through a lot of changes. And Meta might have the upper hand here. They also have the clientele. They have the customers. They got the followers and simple integration. Is Twitter dead? Is this the nail in the coffin here? Is it over for them? Or does Elon Musk have something up his sleeve?
Yeah, I won't necessarily say that Twitter is dead just yet. However, they have significant amount of competition now. And for Meta users, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, it's very second nature for them to try on Thread and say, hey, I'm okay with this. So will Twitter lose market share? Yes, absolutely. Are they dead? I don't think so. Yeah, Samir?
I think, sorry, before you continue, I think Thread has a loyal, Twitter. See, I'm already saying Thread. I think Twitter has a very loyal fan base because if you look at the two companies, they're two very different companies, You look at Facebook and Instagram, and you find them to be more family-oriented.
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
You look at Facebook and Instagram, and you find them to be more friends and family-oriented. And when you look at a company like Twitter, it looks like they're a company that specifically focuses more on political issues or business, breaking out big news.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a different platform that serves a different type of crowd. Now, Instagram coming out, I think, is just another form of, I guess, Instagram posts without the actual photo. And, there's a lot of companies that could have easily came out and done this. I know YouTube has tried to do it with their, community posts on their YouTube pages. What other companies could have hypothetically done this already? Google, I guess, Google with YouTube, yeah. But
yes, a lot of folks could have done it. Yes, they could have implemented it. But the reason why we're so comfortable with Meta doing it is, first it was just Facebook. Then it was Instagram. Not a whole lot changed for the user base. They were like, okay, we're okay with this.
Yep.
WhatsApp happened.
Yep.
We're okay with this. And now just this is like an add-on.
Yep.
So, Medina, do you use Facebook?
Yeah, I use Facebook, Instagram. I'm not a huge Twitter user though, so
So you're probably the next
I'm
Thread
intrigued
user.
why, how it's going to be different.
Would you use Thread then?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, I might actually use it.
There you
well,
go.
I'll tell you this. I think more people will be inclined to at least try it out.
I would.
It sounds like a big thing. Instagram coming out with a new platform. I mean, I'm expecting all of us here in this room to give it a try just to see what it's all about, It's either we're going to continue using it or not, but I think it might bring some value to some people. There's a lot of people out there that don't necessarily want to see, video format or images all the time, being bombarded with, negative information constantly. And that's why we all close our Instagram accounts. This might be a nice little alternative just to, follow certain people and maybe certain businesses and just read things,
Yeah.
It might be a different way of processing information.
It allows you to get the news that you need, updates that you want, and then remove it for something that's more time consuming like it. So it's like a quick sneak peek. Okay, this is what's happening in the world. Okay, perfect. Get it out of the way.
It's like a quick way to read a blog or,
Yeah. I'd probably replace my news feed with Thread.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do at least.
True. So it is official. It's going to be called Rethread.
Yeah,
Rethread.
Retweet, Rethread.
That's smart.
Yeah. Samir, does Elon Musk have something up his sleeve here?
Definitely does. This guy is a man who loves challenges, and every challenge he's taken on, he's made it a success.
Yeah.
So just given his track record, I have a lot of confidence in this guy, and ever since he's been doing business, he knows the risks, and he actually enjoys risks. He thrives on risk. Every project that he's taken on, it's always been everyone thinks it's going to fail.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really drives this man. So I know like the odds are stacked against him right now based on the the fact that Meta has got such a big user base, based on the fact that Twitter is more a business oriented platform. But I think what he does is he experiments.
Yeah.
He experiments and he asks questions and he does it very quickly. The process for him to make a decision is very short.
Yep.
Right. There's a lot of bureaucracy which is cut out. He interacts with the user base. He interacts with them on a direct level. He's not formal. He's like he just asks a question. It's not like it's like so business like.
Yep.
And I think that's why he's going to succeed. He did also bring about. I think he did talk about bringing back Vines.
Yeah.
Which was, I think it was really, I think it worked.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know why it failed, but I think it was catching on. It was very catchy. It was something that I think moves away from the whole business concept, the more business model.
That was like the original Snapchat.
Yeah. So I think, he just needs time. Given time, he's going to evaluate the situation. And once he puts his mind to it, and once he dedicates himself to it, he always wins.
You make a very good point. Elon is not someone that will show his cards,
No.
which is great. However, we have competition in the face of Thread, and the best thing is the consumers will win. You have competition. We have the option of
We will
choosing
benefit.
this or that.
Yeah.
How they figure it out is on them.
Yeah.
And ultimately the greater community wins.
Yeah. I mean, he got into the game because of free speech. That was his whole motive. I don't know how pure that motive is. I don't know if it's a little bit selfish. I don't know. You know, I mean, but based on what, like I said, the main thing that drives Elon is not money. You know, he's got enough of that. It's just he just likes to take on something that's difficult, and he wants to. I don't think he's proving a point, but I think this quality is very admirable. And this is what I mean when I look at Mark Zuckerberg and I look at Elon Musk. I see somebody, Mark Zuckerberg, it's already invented. It's already there. Let's just add it, right? Okay, let's make it better. Let's buy it out. There's no innovation, right? WhatsApp is working. Let's add to it. I have the money. I'll buy it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and it benefits the end user, but there's no challenge. You know, he doesn't take on a challenge. He doesn't thrive on that.
I agree with you. The only thing I will add to that statement is a lot of people are driven by ambition. A lot of people are okay with the way things are.
That's true.
So again, the greater community wins, and that's good for you and for me.
Yeah.
If Thread is the new normal today,
True.
so be it.
Yeah.
But if Twitter comes back strong, then
So be it too.
it's a download away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Medina, is Thread a threat? Is Thread a threat, Medina? Just answer the question.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I don't know if Twitter's gonna survive. I'm not as confident in Elon.
I
as you.
think the more competition, the better. I think competition is healthy for the market.
Yeah.
Twitter for the longest time has been the only prominent player in the game when it comes to writing words, captioning things. Facebook, believe it or not, used to be the first Twitter back in the day. Remember let me break your virginity on the wall. Remember the wall virginity?
The wall, yeah.
People would post things on there, and people would write things, and you would either like it, comment on it, share it. It was like a very similar thing.
Yeah.
So Instagram is bringing it back with Threads.
Is it going to be a part of Instagram?
You're actually gonna,
portable. Yeah, you can.
You can import or export.
Export.
You can export your profile and your followers, and you can have
It's like Facebook and Messenger. It used to be one thing, and then Messenger branched off into its own thing.
So if people on your Instagram account have Thread as well, you're probably going to be able to automatically follow them and whatnot. Very exciting to see what happens. I can't wait to start using it, and we'll definitely discuss on the following podcast what our thoughts are.
Just want to add one more thing. Twitter has not really been a profitable business per se.
Yeah.
Which again is another challenge that Elon has taken on. He knows this, right? So, I mean, based on the numbers, they are actually losing $4 million per day right now. I mean, that's a lot of money, you know. So
Is that accurate?
yeah, that's what I got. $4 million a day.
I'm gonna search that
Yeah.
up.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, figure it out, Twitter.
Exactly.
All the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to
Yeah.
be fun to see the competition and how it's all going to play out.
Yeah.
But the cards are going to be shown pretty soon.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's keep it
Right on.
moving for our last topic here before we finish off with some fun
Tech
tech trivia. All right, guys. Humane. Humane has announced the name of its first device, the AI PIN. The Humane AI PIN is a standalone device with a software platform that leverages the power of AI, enabling innovative personal computing experiences. The wearable device, which is clothing-based, utilizes various sensors to enable contextual and ambient computer interactions. The device will be powered by an advanced Snapdragon platform from Qualcomm. Shocker, huh? The Humane AI aims to deliver seamless, screenless, and sensitive mobile computing experience. Now, obviously, a lot of these things we've already known.
Yeah.
We've predicted a lot of these things, but the name, AI PIN, do you guys like the name for their first official product?
I think there's multiple meanings within AI PIN. I was doing some independent research on this. Obviously, pin it to yourself, to your clothes, and what have you, as we've seen on the videos. It also has to do with the concept of needle in the haystack kind of theory, where like this is going to be something very unique, very different from everything out there. Will it catch on though? AI PIN.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me try this. Hey, Mike, do you have an AI PIN?
No, but I have an iPhone.
Maybe I think it will catch on as PIN eventually or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really cool concept.
Can you actually catch me up on what this is?
So, okay, very quickly, Humane is a new tech company that is taking technology that we use every day, like our phones, our tablets, our computers, and our watches, taking all of that tech and putting it in the background for us to use when we need it. For example, let's say you want to watch a YouTube short right now. You will say, hey, put on YouTube short or put on YouTube, and immediately it's like a tiny device that's on you, and it'll put it up on the wall or on a screen for you.
Like a
Projector.
It's like a
Projector,
projector, yeah.
Exactly.
And you will interact with it when you want. So, for example, I want to fix my car. Something's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I simply open up the engine bay. I look at it, and my AI PIN will tell me that okay, your carburetor's heating up,
Wow.
or you need a new air filter. And then it'll tell me where to find it, how far away that location is, how much I'll pay for it. And that's
Game
really
changer.
cool. Game
That
changer.
is really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got a little bit of a sneak peek on the website. Akshay, can we go on humane.com? It's going to be on the front page. But yeah, Humane, man. And, they're still super secretive about what they're going to be releasing. Now, for those who don't know, it will be released later this year. So we're almost there. I think it's going to be very, very exciting to see what's going to happen. Question is, I have a few questions to actually ask about this product. Number one, how much do you guys think something like this is actually going to cost?
I was literally just thinking that.
Ooh, okay. It's first generation product. A lot of hype around it. It's going to cost a lot. We're talking, and this is me, we're easily talking north of $2,000 to $3,000 US.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. You really think it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000? I don't know.
Could be more.
But you got to look at the hardware aspect.
I hear you.
I understand, it seems very complex, but it's essentially, a Siri that can display images on your hand,
Yeah.
I'm making the prediction that it's going to be around $1,000 to $1,500,
Okay, yeah.
which is competitive price to the current Apple iPhones.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trying to compete with the Apple Vision Pro per se,
Right.
but they're trying to eliminate the phone, the physical aspect, right?
Right.
So for them to be competitive, I think they have to have a slightly better price point, especially being a brand new company.
Right.
That's the only upper hand here.
I think
And-
anything under $1,000, $999.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd probably give it
for any new, the probability of failure for any brand new tech company is super high.
super high. You're right.
Now, the only thing they have behind them is their star-studded, team of ex-Apple employees, and you know, they have a lot of respect behind the name. Medina, you can see what's going on here, right?
Yeah, so this isn't something that you connect to your phone or sync to your phone. This is
No.
its own
It's
You don't
thing.
have a
its own
phone.
thing.
So it's basically just on your hand.
That's
So
it.
it's like a
Right
wearable.
here.
It's
It's
supposed
a
to be a
wearable.
wearable. So
And everything you need is supposed to fit on your hand.
On your hand or like on a
the
wall.
wall.
Yeah,
It really depends. Let's say I want to watch like a movie or Netflix, for example. Netflix goes on the wall, and there you go.
yeah, and
So-
can you use the
Interesting.
analogy of the GoPro that you use, like just to
Okay.
give her an example of what they're trying to do here?
Yeah. Okay. So I was in the Laurentian mountain range a few years ago. Went back to back, 2 years. So year one, obviously you're coming down at 110 kilometers an hour or something like that. You can't have your phone out. You lose it right away. So they have these GoPros. So you're holding on to a GoPro. So year one, I'm coming down. I'm focused on how do I get my angle right, how like speed, velocity. I need to capture the mountain. I need to capture the surroundings. It was amazing experience. The second year that I went back, I still had a GoPro, but it was mounted on my helmet. So my hands were focused on what am I doing. I saw a lot more. I experienced it as a memory now in my head, but my GoPro was doing my
Yeah.
thing for me, right?
That's awesome.
So AI, like Humane is essentially that. You're living your life, a moment happens, or you see like there an accident happens, you won't have time to flip out your phone, take a picture, like, hey, let me
You think
catch
it's
this in real
recording
time.
this whole time?
It could. It very well could. It's just tech in the
Black
background.
Mirror.
Yeah,
Black Mirror. There you go.
exactly.
That's crazy.
Well,
There
I
you
mean,
go.
you could also
That
strap.
gave me the chills when I thought about it that way.
You could
That
have.
is cool though.
You
It
could have done
is.
another way. You strap an iPhone onto your head.
Yeah, you can
It's
do
the same
that.
thing, right?
You can try that. I will stick to the AI pin for now.
What's that game where you used to play charades? Remember that game? Remember we went to the Drake concert last year, and there was this like incredible moment. It was one of my favorite songs, and I think I brought it up in
Yeah.
the last podcast. But she was with me, and I told her, "Yo, let's not put out our phones.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the moment." And that moment was so much more enjoyable because you just see everybody out there with their phones, but I'm like, no, not me. I'm enjoying the actual moment.
Yep.
Now, with this type of technology, you're going to be able to capture that, but not
Not having to worry about, taking out your phone
ruining it with the physical component in front of your face.
right here.
Exactly.
Have
just
you
like that.
have you seen that cartoon
Yeah.
picture where? No, it's a picture where basically in the 90s, when you go to a concert, they're holding candles
Oh yeah.
and
So peaceful.
and then you bring it forward and now they're always holding phones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
Soon you're
Yeah,
gonna see a
that's
bunch of
amazing.
AIs, robots,
Exactly.
cyborgs. Can we go on the website quickly? I just wanted to show the viewers what we had here. The Humane right next to the tab, right next to it. All right, Humane reveals the name of. We already talked about most of the stuff. I just want to show the image of it. This is what it's going to essentially look like. Still very secretive. Is that the actual size? Is that the shape? Is that all it is? How thick is it? It's so many questions to still be answered, and we'll see where this goes, and we'll definitely stay on top of this story. And
Yeah, I have a good feeling about this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a couple of points I wanted to mention about.
Sure.
You got screenless, right? Screenless. That means anything that you're seeing, everybody else is seeing, right? So privacy for me. I mentioned this last time as well. Privacy is a big concern for me. Another thing that I
Just
thought.
don't show your hand, bro.
Another thing I thought about was the apps. Of course, they're gonna have apps for this.
Yep.
And an online banking app. I don't think it'll be approved because, you have online banking, right? And you have like this thing projecting all your personal information onto your hand or onto something that is
well, I think there's the right time for the right place to use certain technology, right? Would I be using a GoPro everywhere? No. I think this is just a convenient tool and device to use in more than 50% of the scenarios you're going to be in. I still think the phone and the physical component is an important factor for reasons such as
Exactly.
privacy, for reasons such as, getting email information. It's a slow process, but it doesn't mean that, this piece of technology is automatically going to eliminate the phone.
It's not
That's
going to.
nearly impossible. I think it's going to be a convenient tool for the use of the situations we just briefly spoke about.
Right.
Omar.
Samir, you've got to think about it this way. They're not here to replace the iPhone today.
Okay.
But 5 years from now, when the way we think and operate changes, maybe then,
Yep.
they'll
Yeah.
have something.
I don't see. I mean, they have to have a hardware component. They have to have some sort of screen or whatever, because I'm not going to watch a movie looking at my hand, or I'm not going to.
But I don't think that's their intention. They're trying to, make
they're
you.
trying to.
Yeah, they're trying to make you experience life in a different way. They're trying to make your day to day simpler, cleaner, if that makes sense, to the point where you're not bombarded with things that you can do on here with what you can do on here. There's a lot of things that you do on your phone that is just completely unnecessary, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there
And,
are, but then the entertainment value of a device is also pretty big, because a lot of people use it just for watch YouTube videos or Instagram or whatever, and that's a big component of. That's why people have a phone.
And I think it will eventually roll out. Before I pass it back to you, but think of it in a way where this is now a product that is changing the way we experience this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 15 years ago, like, we had candy bar phones. Then BlackBerry became a thing. Like, having a QWERTY keyboard was a thing. You couldn't live without it. And then touchscreen phones. It's adaptability, right?
I agree.
And
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, like I said, everything is on the phone, including the entertainment value, and I think that has really brought stickiness to it.
Yep.
And I think that's a lot of people have gotten used to that. Now, are they going to move away from that?
I'll have your answer after
Medina,
goes.
what did you have to say?
Yeah, one of the main reasons I think Humane exists, or they created Humane, was so people kind of stop
I know. Yes.
going on their phone as much for entertainment. Like,
Yeah.
we spend way too much time on Instagram scrolling. Honestly, I love the idea of the pin. I don't know how comfortable scrolling like this is going to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I also want to mention, like, what's the purpose of having, an Apple Watch? What's the purpose of having a MacBook? What's the purpose of having an iPhone? They all serve their own purpose. And I find that Humane is just going to be another tool to serve its unique purpose that we might not know yet. But the idea of it definitely is interesting.
Just to answer your question, think of the AirPods Pro as their next gen product that lets you listen. Through AI, it puts like a screen in front of your eyes for you to view and experience.
Yeah.
For you to ask questions. Your banking information is in front of your eyes now. I'm not coming behind your spectacles to see what you can see right now. So over time, this is Gen 1. We can't think of this as the product that they'll have 5 years from now. It could just be a version of AirPods Pro that show you what you want to see. You hear what you want to hear, directions on where you want to go.
Yeah.
Literally everything without you having to worry too much. And then when it's done, you take it out and then it goes back to the pin. So
I mean, I
you gotta
see
think
it.
about it that way.
I see it as a combination.
Yeah.
I don't see it as standalone.
We'll see.
Is what
Time
I'm
will-
saying.
time will
Yeah,
tell.
Well, let's see.
We will see. And at the worst case scenario, once I buy mine, I'll lend it to you for a few days, and then you let me know what your experience is
As
like.
long as it's got Apple Care.
Oh, he's gonna have it. It's gonna have AI PIN care of some sort. We'll see. Time will tell.
Humane. It's gonna have humane care.
Humane care. All right, it's time for tech trivia.
It's time for tech trivia. Is everybody ready?
Ready?
Are you
Hell
guys
yeah.
nervous?
No.
Medina, are you nervous?
No.
No.
Let's test out your tech skills. Hopefully, no more gaming questions.
Please.
All right, so we have to pull out the whiteboards. Now we have a guest today, so we didn't purchase 4 whiteboards. So I'm gonna use my own iPad,
Change.
and no cheating. We cannot look at each other's answers. Yeah, Samir. Oh, everything is recorded. We see you on camera.
Okay.
It's not cheating. It's assisting.
Let me just confirm it's correct.
Exactly. Verification.
Okay.
Did you guys ever cheat on your tests in school?
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I never cheated. That's why I kept failing.
I kept cheating and I still failed. So.
Because you don't have AI.
Yeah, I didn't cheat. I just memorized everything.
You guys ready?
All right. Okay, what's the first question?
Question 1, all right? These are multiple choice, and then we have a couple that are not.
Okay.
Which company makes the electric all-terrain vehicle called the Cyber Quad? Is it A, Tesla, B, Honda, C, Toyota, or D, Ford?
Can you do that again? Say that again.
Yeah. Which
You already saw my answer. Come on, Samir.
Which company makes the all-electric? Which company makes the electric all-terrain vehicle called the Cyberquad?
It runs for only 1 hour. It takes 6 hours to charge.
I know what it is. Okay.
All right, who's going first?
Okay, I can go.
We'll go one by one.
Yes. Sorry.
Wait, did you? Is this multiple choice?
Yeah, it's multiple choice.
Did you ask the question? Did you?
Yes.
I read through. Do you want me to read through it one more
I
time?
already knew it, but it's okay.
Okay.
Everybody got an answer? Omar, go first.
There you go. Camera.
All right, Tesla.
Tesla.
Okay, am I the only one that got it wrong? A Toyota?
Tesla.
It's
Okay.
Tesla.
I have not heard of the Cyberquad.
It's like an ATV for kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
An electric?
Electric.
ATV.
Mhm.
Wow.
This one's a little bit of an easier question. I don't know if you guys can
All
get
right.
this. Okay. In which year did the Apple?
Kids here.
Yeah, it's on me.
So immature.
Sorry, Akshay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. And in which year did the Apple launch the iPod? Is it A, 2001, B, 2000, C, 2003?
We're
There's only 3.
Yeah, there's only 3 multiple choice.
iPod?
In which year did Apple launch the iPod? Is it A, 2001, B, 2000, and C, 2003?
The original iPod.
The
classic.
original.
The original.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
And you said this is easy. How is this easy?
Let's do the same format. Are we all ready? Samir, let's see your wrong answer.
2001.
Ooh. That definitely does not look like 2001.
I know.
That looks like 2000D.
2003.
I got 2001 also.
I did 2001 as well. What is it?
So Medina, Michael, and my dad were correct. It's
Oh.
2001.
I actually had 2001. I changed it to 2003.
Nice.
All right.
We should have a point system.
We should. We should.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time when you guys have to do the hot chili.
Okay. Hey. I guess
Sneak peek.
we'll find out. We'll find out for next week about what he means exactly. Okay.
Which piece of technology was nearly called the mini rack when it was first launched? Is it A, the CD, B, the mobile phone, C, the BlackBerry, and D, the laptop?
What was option 1?
A, CD.
Uh-huh. Well, now you care.
Yeah,
now
I know you're
he
from that
suddenly
era.
cares.
But okay, everybody got it? I'll go first this time. I said CD.
I said CD as well.
I said CD as well.
I said CD as well.
Are we all wrong?
One is correct.
Woo! Very nice.
The word rack, I mean.
On Facebook Marketplace, I saw somebody selling a CD like rack
Yeah.
as a toilet paper holder. And the caption, like the listing name was toilet paper
Yeah,
shelf.
that's hilarious. Yeah, the amount of weird stuff you see on Facebook here and there,
I know.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Safari, the web browser created by Apple, was first introduced at the Macworld Expo on January 7th. What year? Is it A, 2000, B, 1999, C, 2002, and D, 2003? So Safari, when was it introduced?
This one is a complete guess for me, but
Same.
All right, who's going first?
Medina, you go first this time.
I said 2003.
2003.
2003.
I said 2003.
I said 2000.
2000. Omar, what'd you say?
I said 2002, just to make it interesting.
Okay.
So who said 2003? So Medina and my dad were correct.
Yay.
Wow. Okay.
Good.
All right. All right. Next
When were you
question.
born?
2000.
Oh, okay. Actually, it was 2001.
All right. Which project featuring a translucent shell, a built-in handle, and a uniquely round design was introduced and marketed towards students in 1999? Is it A, the Mac Portable 2, B, the Power Mac, C, the iBook, or D, the Gala?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Which product featuring a translucent shell, a built-in handle, and a uniquely round design was introduced and marketed towards students in 1999?
Go through
Was
the
it
options
A,
again.
the Mac Portable 2, B, the Power Mac, C, the iBook, or D, the Gala?
I might just get this one right.
I know the answer to this one.
I
Damn.
should know the answer.
Samir, she's got the right answer.
Really?
How are you gonna peek?
Where's the first letter?
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2.
No, one at a time.
One at a time. Okay, one at a time. Relax. One at a time.
Okay, I'll go first. I wrote the iBook.
Okay.
I also wrote iBook, one of the ugliest laptops I've ever seen.
And I also copied the iBook from my little sister.
I wrote Gala.
So the correct answer was iBook.
Yes.
What is the Gala?
I hated it.
Do you know what the
and the
Gala
green.
is?
And, no, I don't know. What
Okay.
It just seemed like.
Yeah.
In 1997, Nokia's 6110 handset is considered to have the first mobile app ever created. What was that app? Was it A, Solitaire, B, Tic-Tac-Toe, C, Snake, or D, AOL Instant Messenger?
I had the 6110, so if I get this wrong, it's gonna be horrible.
What does it start with again?
Let Omar go first.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, Samir's not done. You know, like he has to copy and all. Anyway, the Nokia 6110.
Do you want me to read it again for you guys?
Oh, it's good.
Thanks for the answer, bro.
Oh yeah, anytime, anytime. Come, I'll share it with you.
Are we ready?
Okay, Samir can go first.
Okay, go ahead. What is that? AOL?
AOL.
AOL what?
AOL Messenger.
Okay. I'm assuming he got the same. Okay. Medina?
Okay, I wrote Snake.
I also wrote Snake.
So you two were correct with Snake.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah,
here's the
Sorens
question:
Think
the
alike.
Nokia 3110 debuted before the 6110, and Snake was on that. So
I don't know. I got these questions.
yeah, the first Nokia that even my dad had was one with a satellite antenna on it, and that phone had Snake. So okay, I'll look it up later.
We will confirm on the next episode.
Please.
All right, we got 3 more questions.
Okay.
No, we got 4 more, sorry. Okay. Who is the CEO of OpenAI, aka the mother of ChatGPT? Is it A, Jack Dorsey? So who's the inventor of ChatGPT, pretty much?
I saw this today.
A, Jack Dorsey, B, Sam Altman, C, David Carr, or D, Jeff Bezos?
It's Jeff.
Yeah, sure it is.
What was B again?
B, Sam Altman.
And what was C again?
David Carr.
Okay. I should know this. Are you guys ready? Yeah.
Well, let me pull a Samir.
Ah, that's not what I thought. All right, Samir, what do you have?
Sam Altman.
Okay.
So do I.
So do I.
Okay, I got David. I don't know how to spell his
Who's
last name.
David? Oh, he's the Twitter guy.
Oh,
So everyone was right except me.
Okay.
So the answer was Sam Altman.
Thank
I saw a
you.
clip today, and that's how I knew that one. He said he was only doing it. He wasn't doing it for the money. That's why.
Okay. Let's go.
What was these are not multiple choice, by the way. So last 3 are not multiple choice.
Okay.
What was the most downloaded app of the 2010s?
This is not multiple choice. Most downloaded app in the 2010s. From Apple Store?
2010.
just the 2010 or all
Like
of
the
2010s?
Yeah, like the
The most downloaded app?
app, yeah.
And this is on the App Store or all.
So it's not something that already came with the phone.
No, it was on the App Store. It wasn't pre-downloaded.
Temple Run? No, I'm joking.
Temple Run.
I'm joking.
Do you guys want to hit? Do you guys want to hit?
No,
No,
it's
that's
okay.
fine.
Okay,
No hint.
Yeah.
okay, no,
No
hit.
hint.
I'm not giving
I
you
think
a hint.
as long as everybody has an answer, let's see what it is.
I don't have an answer.
It's okay.
Just come up with an answer. Think of an app.
iMessage.
Yeah? Is that?
Download it. It's something you can download.
Bro, it was iTunes, you idiot. Oh shit. Bro, it was the Notes app.
Who's going first?
I'm taking a complete guess here. I kind of used common sense. I know it was probably top 5, but I'm gonna go with Facebook.
Okay.
I
Medina?
put Instagram.
Okay.
I put iTunes.
Did you actually? First of all, I'm trying to read what this says. It doesn't look like this language exists. It
What is that?
looks like a U, a unique U, another one right
Okay.
beside it, a T, and S.
Okay.
What?
So, Omar, what's your answer?
Well, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, so the only one who got it correct was Michael. The answer.
Facebook.
What was it? Facebook?
Yeah, that was the
Wow.
yeah. It was they were on the rise in 2010. That's-
Instagram was pretty close, I think, too.
Well,
Yeah, I mean-
Instagram, I believe,
it came
became
later.
2015-ish,
Yeah, it came
became very prominent.
Okay, you got 2 more questions.
Yeah, let's go.
In what year did the first Amazon web service launch to the public? So the first Amazon website, when did it launch?
It's a wild guess.
I'm gonna give you guys a little hint. I don't know the answer.
That's a good hint.
Yeah, thank you.
Did everybody get one?
Yes.
Dina, you go first.
I'm guessing 2008.
2008. Omar.
2006.
1997.
1998.
It's one of those two, yeah.
Okay, so
We're
the
all-
first
we're
website
pretty
you
close
guys
here.
were all wrong, but the first the year it was released was 2004.
And
Four?
What?
that was the closest.
What was with that bookstore in the 90s?
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
there was no Amazon web service.
Wasn't a web service.
Public.
Oh.
That was not a web
Hmm.
What do you guys
We
think
didn't listen
of?
to the question properly.
AWS, okay.
Okay.
What are you guys talking
understood. Amazon was initially launched as a bookstore, and I believe sometime in the 90s, 96.
Yeah,
to
they only sold
98.
books,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, they only sold books,
Yeah.
and they were actually one of the first
Yeah.
e-commerce stores online. And it's just very fascinating to see how far they've come, and they became the most prominent e-commerce store in the world.
Yep.
In history, yeah.
Yes.
All right, last question. What programming language is named after a type of Indonesian coffee?
Ah, got it.
Well, that's easy.
Easy.
Oh.
Easy. Oh,
Well, why don't we all just
I
say
could be
it?
wrong.
Oh, wait, can you repeat the
Well,
question?
it's the only one that makes sense.
What programming language is named after a type of Indonesian coffee? Don't reveal the answer yet.
Yeah, give me.
Everyone knows is this.
No,
Well, she doesn't.
The only
Okay,
time he
I
has
So
the-
selfish, bro.
You didn't know?
I can't think of any
Everybody
programming.
knows. Did you get the answer? Oh, you got that? Okay. All right, let's see. I'll go first. I said Java. JavaScript.
Java.
I wrote
Same.
Java.
All right, we all said Java.
No, what did you have before you said Java?
Empty.
She was going to say Python, bro.
Python.
By the way, Python over everything. No doubt.
All right, that was the last question, yes.
That was it.
That was fun.
Well, that was a lot of fun. And thank you, Medina, for being our very first guest on the Flipaforum podcast. Very, very excited about having you on here. It was a blast. And we hope you had a lot of fun as well. Do you have
Yeah, thank
anything
you
to
for
say
having me.
on today's podcast, Medina?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
This is
that
nerve wracking, but
It was
I had a lot
pleasure.
of fun. You
Yeah,
guys
we-
are very good at talking.
We had fun. We all had fun. It
We
was
all
fun.
had fun.
yeah, and we wanted to do something very spontaneous. I just asked her today, I'm like, hey, you want to join the podcast? Let's have some fun. She's like, Yeah, and I salute you for doing that because, you know,
Yeah.
the very first time we ever sat down to do a podcast, I was very nervous. And the fact that you're stepping out of your comfort zone to get onto a podcast where you don't necessarily know where the conversations might go shows me a lot. And I'm very proud of you, Medina. My little sister, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, guys, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new content, okay? We love you, we appreciate you, and farewell, folks. And that's a wrap.